Hello, hello. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the live stream. We got ourselves another Simulation Sunday community live stream. Glad to be back. We got ourselves a nice Sunday here, and we had a big development on the channel. We went ahead and we surpassed 2,000 subscribers on the channel, so I'd like to thank everybody for helping us get to this milestone. It would not be possible without you guys. And we're going to be checking out some styles for some people here at Little Bohemia today. So let's go ahead and check it out. Well, user, welcome to chat. Welcome. So let's go ahead and start off. We got Circe Weaver here, so we're going to go ahead and start off with them here real quick. We'll kind of just go from there. I hope everybody got their 12K zombies. Be sure to check out that video if you haven't already. It's quite a daunting feat, but with that video and just going ahead and seeing the Necron cutscene, and then going ahead and doubling back, you should be able to get the feat quite easily. All right, we got Lord Inuyasha. Let's see. We have user asking, what artifact do I need for Rage Battle Tank? You're going to need 5 different artifacts. What I recommend is going to be Gemini, Flute, Quizlet, Red Tornado. Let me see here. Scrap the Silk Cloak. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So Tornado, Flute, Quizlet, Gemini, and Scrapple Silk Cloak. That's what I recommend. Alright. Got Barry Allen over here. We got Supergirl of Steel. And then we got Ronnie Raymond. If only they had the elite head style, I think this would be really nice. I mean, the accessory is still really good for nuclear. I would have thought that this would have been for nuclear, because the actual nuclear accessory is not that great. And then we got Harold over here. Looks like we have some sort of like a Black Lantern Hal Jordan kind of feel to it. The skin that I generally use for Hal Jordan is the Venom Juice. I end up using that, and then I go ahead and I like black out the veins on it, and that seems to give like a suitable like corrupted appearance to it. And then we have Ultra Boy. Let's see here. We got a Soon over here, or a Sun. A Soon. The Diamond Chroma is very nice chroma to have. I'm glad that they had that on the Imp Mart. I was talking with some of my friends and then some of them in Discord about the items that are coming to the Imp Mart. I don't think it's a great idea that they've brought some items that are, how do you say it, accessible by source marks, and they have those in the Imp Mart. I'm not too crazy about that. That doesn't seem to be a great look, going ahead and adding things that you can get with source marks and then like trying to sell them back as like items, you know, in the marketplace. Not a great look on those. But some of the other items, you know, came from like booster bundles and whatnot. You know, those aren't bad. But personally, for me, if I were to get anything else from the Imp Mart, I think people would be really interested in, like, I think the Cosmic Chromas would do really good. I think if they brought the Mutant skin around again, that would do really good. So I think they're kind of holding on those for now. I'm trying to think what else. I think the Shaded Comic being on the Imp Mart would be really good, but I think it's going to be quite a while before they do anything like that. I think that would probably be one of the biggest things that people would be looking for, is a Shaded Comic. I'm trying to think what else. It looks like they're going to have the smoke auras on there. I don't know if it's going to be all of them, whether that includes the black smoke or not. I doubt it. It's probably going to be like the remix bundle where it had all the other smokes but the black one. So they're gonna they're gonna go ahead and bring those back again. But I mean, we already have those boxes, you know, like on the broker and whatnot, so you can still kind of get all those and choose which one you want. Filico, how's it going? Martinez, welcome to chat. User says, okay, thank you. Only got flute at the moment. Recently changed to rage. Only ever DPS since 2011. Wanted to try something new. Yeah, rage is really good. I mean, I love that for my main power. But I've been kind of branching out into like earth, atomic, you know, a lot of tank powers. I find that as the game goes along, battle tanks and just being very self-sufficient like pays dividends on itself. Like it's a really good thing to be able to do things yourself, solo bounty, solo an instance, you know, be really beefy as a tank or a battle tank. I think it's really good to be able to be very self-sufficient. I like the character for me that's the hardest to get things done on is pretty much the healer, because the healer one can't really, you know, solo things like that. Like my atomic character used to be the quantum character, and he kind of used to be the weakest link because, you know, I don't know, I didn't have the troll artifacts. I didn't want to have to level 5 other artifacts to kind of get him to be relevant. Most of the artifacts that I needed I already had, like Wolf Pact, and I'm not going to go, you know, fully into troll artifacts for, you know, for a character that will be, you know, not that much more independent. So if I got all the different troll artifacts, yeah, I could have done like maybe a battle troll build, but it just didn't make sense, you know. It would be better just for me to work with what I already have. It'd be cheaper that way as well. So it just wasn't worth the trouble of doing it. All right, so this one's nice. This reminds me of Raven in the OG TV show, like the OG animated show back in the day. I like the energy of it. Very nice. Yeah, very nice. Okay, let's look at Beast over here. And then we've got, let me zoom in here just a little bit. We got perks over here. I mean, I like that kind of face style pace with like the head. That's kind of cool. I like that. I mean, the rest of the suit's very simplistic, but I like the little mouthpiece and like the visor look to it. Kind of reminds me of like Metal Gear Solid a little bit. Very simplistic. I like it. It's like a little black dress. Very simplistic. Okay, so we've got Q star or X. Okay, so it kind of looks like an energy suit sort of thing. It's not bad. Has kind of like a halo feel to it with the green armor. We got Wani over here. Let me find him on the list. There we go. It's not bad. I'm not crazy about how the bracelets don't match up with the shoulder thing. Like, it feels like there's a lot of wiggle room there. I don't know. I feel like the arm should have been a little thicker, or maybe he shouldn't have been wearing a shirt. Maybe he could have had like something else kind of going on. Maybe like a half shirt or like a torn shirt or something a little different, kind of so that worked with the armband. We got Wonder Woman JSA. It's not bad. Kind of wish the feet didn't clip with the legs though. That's the only thing. I mean, otherwise everything else looks pretty good. You got like the stars that are shining on it, the bracelet. All right. So we've got the Halloween event coming up very soon. So that's gonna be really nice. I've already seen the style for it. So it's like an updated Scarecrow mask. You know, mask and head style. So that seems like it's gonna be really cool. Who knows? I think I'll probably make like a Scarecrow style with it. We'll see what comes of it. I wonder if that's going to end up changing the in-game appearance of the actual Scarecrow, if they're going to update his style or not. That'll be interesting. Alrighty, we've got Venestra L over here. So we got another, we have another Necron going ahead over here. It's not bad. I'm partial to the mutant skin because it actually has veins that are coming out of the skin. Or I mean, you can kind of see them here. It's just I feel like they work with the veins in the back of the head. Yeah. Yep. So I like that. It's darker. I tried to copy his skin tone as much as I could. Had like a sickening, like dark, like weird red to the heart. And then I wanted the shoulder piece because it kind of gave it a metallic look at some point near the neck, and then I could put like the Black Lantern emblem on it. And then I tried to match the metal on the head as close to the metal on the shoulder piece. You know, and then put a little, you know, black regalia accessory on there to, or Mercian, to go ahead and give it that, you know, black energy feel. Alright, we got Frog over here. Looks like a Hobgoblin appearance. Yeah, looks like Hobgoblin. I like the cape and shoulders paired with the Etrigan style. I like that. Yet again, I wish the hood was a little better, because it seems like it's clipping right through it, and not crazy about that. Yeah, not crazy about it clipping through the hood, but I think everything else is pretty good. And then it looks like we have somebody who's cosplaying the Emerald Empress over here. Let's see how close they got. It looks like they got pretty close. I mean, you could actually stand next to the iconic and actually get it color for color in the House of Legends at this point. I think the gold is a tad off, but other than that, I think they came pretty close. Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty nice. Just got the eye and everything. Alright. And then we got Utopian Icon over here. He's giving us a thumbs up, so let's go ahead and take a look. So we've got like a zoo style. I actually like this. This is actually well done. And we're gonna clip it. I like the foot style that he used. Very nice. Alright. Let me see who else we got here. Lord Inuyasha. I know we looked at him earlier, but I think he may have... Looks like he's trying to look like the Sumio god. We got Lucifer Morningstar. He says, I can finally lord over Etrigan. Not one, but two base NPCs is seasonal. It's beginning to look like a Nightmare Before Christmas, and I am loving it. Yes, I'm really happy about those base pets. I did see that in the video, and you're right. They're really good. You've got replying on. There you go. Thanks. Yeah, it's really good. I like that they have the Phantom Stranger there, and I like how they have Etrigan in there. So I'm definitely going to pop out one or two of those undead trick-or-treaters, and I will put the new base pets. Like, I'll get one of each, of course, and I'll put them in my Halloween base, because I think that's gonna be really nice. Yeah, because yeah, the Starfire one was nice, so then I'll have another two to add to it. I mean, we need an Alfred. We need an Alfred, you know, base pet. We need Alfred in there. You know, I need him to walk around and be like, "Very good, sir." that'd be kind of sweet. You know, have him or Bruce Wayne walking around, you know, in your Wayne manner. That'd be great. You know, be even better is like have a Wayne have a Wayne base pet, and he walks around, and then he gets to the back where the Bat Cave is, and then he switches into his bat suit. That'd be cool. And so on and so forth. Like, you know, same if you had like Superman, it'd be like Clark Kent, and he'd be walking around. And then once, you know, he gets to a certain area, he'd switch and he'd be Superman, like in the fortress, you know, like kind of like an interactive feature to it. That'd be kind of cool. Hey Scrolls, how's it going? Welcome to chat. We have Gas over here. He says, can we get an updated Yellow Lantern style? What kind of I mean, I think the thing that would work best for a Yellow Lantern style, which we've needed for a very long time, above everything else, would be getting a better chest style. I think we were lack of a nicer word. We kind of got screwed on the Yellow Lantern style when it came to the chest style. I think they could have done a lot better and not given us kind of a chopped up kind of shirt style that they did. And when there was when I had that little interview thing, kind of like that one episode with Multiverse, one of the kind of things that I pitched, because they said, what would be a great OP item that you would consider, like, what would be a good one? And my suggestion was a Sinestro Core chest style. And maybe it like has an interaction to where every couple seconds, anybody who's wearing that shirt and gets hit and takes damage from it releases a wave of like hysteria, and it'll apply like the terrified PI or whatever like Mental uses. It should use that PI, and like it you know, and it should do like a dot over time or something like that. That's what I would have like wanted to see. I think that would have been really cool. So that's what I would kind of recommend. So we just need a better shirt. Unco, welcome to chat. They said, I checked the DCUO census and holy moly, is it true you got over 890 skill points? I've got 949 skill points. So, I'm about 50 away from 1,000. Yeah. So yeah, 50 can't come around quick enough, I guess. But yeah, I've got quite a few. But I mean, to be honest, I think the higher amount of skill points that are in the game, I think the most that you're gonna find is going to be, I think it's like 1,020. Like that's what we're sitting at, like on the higher end. So this one's not bad. This is a pretty good style. I was kind of first at the beginning leaning into using the shaded comic, but then I felt like you lost a lot of details in the face. So I made sure to try to just have no material on the head, and then just glossy material on the rest of the body. That kind of made sense for me. And I wanted the skin tone of the chest to match the head. So yes, it turns these things into a skin tone, but to me that was enough of, I don't know, it was enough of a compromise there. So that made sense to me. Unseen says, have you went to phase 3 yet? I have not. I have not. We will make our way over there. We have Sunshine Supergirl over here. It's not bad. I like it. I like the blue. I don't know if I'd use these boots though, but the hands are a nice touch. I like that. Like the casual feel to it. The belt's a good, good choice. The legs are not bad. Let's take a good look. I mean, I'd probably add a little something to like maybe the emblem, but I mean, if they're trying to like recreate a specific character in there, it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad at all. And then we have Earth 3 Red X. So I got a few like little straggler styles that I have not put in a video yet, that I have yet to kind of like make into anything. So I'll go ahead and do that at some point. I wanted to get the Necron style out as quick as possible because I really enjoyed making it, and it was something that I was really proud of. And I took a little time to go ahead and get all the colors right and get all the styles. Like I pretty much knew what styles I wanted to throw on it. It was the colors that I wanted to kind of nail down as much as I could. And that's what I kind of like put out very early. But I really enjoyed making that because I mean I made a Necron style back in the day for my Black Lantern video, and we didn't have like the head and the belt, so that was a really big deal. We didn't even have the shoulder style that I used in there, so it was kind of cool to be able to make a very close version of Necron. And hopefully, fingers crossed, if they keep the same trend with like orbitals and stuff, hopefully we'll see ourselves maybe a Black Lantern orbital. But that kind of brings me to the next topic. Let me see if I can find it. Where's it? I already got slotted. Okay, so the Athena Blade. The Athena Blade uplink device does more damage than all of the other orbitals in the game. So I went through other orbitals and I was looking at them, and they all do about, so I tried this out on a testing dummy in my base. They do like 4 or 5 ticks of 128,000 damage, and the Athena Blade did 153,600. So that's like another 20 something thousand more, roughly another 15.5% damage. So it is literally the best orbital in the game. So if you want the top performing orbital, the Athena Blade, that is it. That is the top performing orbital. So you'll be doing another almost another 15.5% more damage than any other orbital in the game. So that's kind of a big deal. So so if you're looking for the best performing orbital, that is it. So it's not gold. It's not gold just because it looks nice. It's gold because it actually does more. Here, I'll just for the fun of it. That's what it looks like. You can see the whole blade goes straight into the ground and lifts up. There you go. Okay. All right. Looking at messages here. Somebody sent me a message. All right, and then we've got GNG there. Let's see. Probably going right over it again. There you go. So there we go. We go ahead and we have like a king style kind of going on. I liked when they brought out this like actual good like crown. Like we needed a good crown for a very long time. I'm glad they brought that out with Homecoming a couple years back. Definitely a good idea by the dev team. They did a good job on that. We have Super Bro. That's a good name for the character, Super Bro. Very nice name. Only critique here is I would probably put a new skin on. That's the only thing. I don't know, the old skins are just something else. I mean, I think they need to update a lot of the old skins, to be honest. You know, there's so many good skins that they could make now that would replace all the old ones. I think they need to do a pass on those. You know, update pass on all of the old skins. Try to remake them, but update them, make them better. I mean, they don't have to be super complex. They just, you know, gotta kind of replace what the old ones did. We have Kree Warrior over here. Morningstar said the chances of getting the orbital is sadly, unfortunately. I'm guessing you're saying it's low, unfortunately. I think over time you'll see it. It'll be easier to get over time. I mean, luckily for me, I was able to get it to drop 2 times. But here's the thing. Here's what I've found out. The thing that I've found out is that you can take it like once you get it on one character, you can go ahead and, how do I say it? You can take copies of it off of your base dispenser, and then you can put it in your shared bank, and you know, put a couple in there, and then all your different characters can take one each or whatever, and be able to get that orbital. So you can share it across your characters. It's not one of those things where, you know, only one character can get it and you can't share it across the account. So worst case scenario, you only have to get it once and then share it with your account. That's it. So you don't have to get it multiple times. You can get it from your base dispenser on the character that got it originally, and then put a couple in shared bank, share it around. Doesn't it go for about 40 to 50 million? Yes. Last I looked on the broker, it was like 42 million. It's not, I mean, that's not a terrible price, especially if you're able to go ahead and, you know, spread it across your account multiple times. It's just going to take you a little bit to get there. Now, I don't know if they're going to have that to be the case going forward with all other orbitals, whether, you know, that they're just going to be kind of like upgraded and better, you know, as you go along. I don't know. I don't know if this is something that's just very specific to like the capsules and whatnot. You just don't know for sure. That's just something that we'll have to go ahead and see if that works out in our favor or not. see. Yeah, so 40 to 50, that is still kind of a hefty price tag there. You know, but with a little due diligence and, you know, selling everything that you know, practically get, I know that you're gonna, you know, you can still get some pretty good, you know, decent money over time from like selling the recent catalysts that are, you know, with the current chapter. So, you know, you kind of just do that over time. You know, it'll be pretty good for the most part. It won't be terrible. But, you know, it'll take you a little bit of time. Wow, that shirt looks really different on like on brute characters. I just realized that is insane. How big that shirt is on a brute character. Like, look at that. Look at that shoulder. Holy cow. Like, look at the shoulder here. Look how low that is. And boom, this thing's just, oh my goodness. This thing's like off his shoulder. Like that's, yeah, that's, holy cow. The proportions of that are insane. Yeah, very nice Hulk. We got DCUO over here. Not bad, very nice, like a tracksuit, like a Yellow Lantern with the tracksuit on. Alright, let's go ahead and kind of go over here. So we've got MJ over here. Very nice. Let's see, and then we've got Con Luther over here. Very nice. The only thing that we need is a little bit of blue in there. I probably would have done blue on the lower part of this shirt. Get a little blue in there. Get a little Superman blue. Alright. Trying to see if there's any other styles I have not seen yet. Whether it was like last week or the week before. Trying to make sure. We're gonna go ahead. Let's take a look at August over here. Okay, so this isn't bad. I mean, they're missing a leg gear piece there. All right. Let's see what else. And then we got Flames Goddess over here. And then I think we're gonna go ahead and drop down a phase. Yeah, so that's not bad. That's pretty nice. Definitely kind of like has a. Maybe you could kind of think that looks a little bit like a White Lantern. Alright. So I think we're good here. I'm going to go ahead and drop down a phase. Yep, okay, clear it up. Phases. Go down to phase 3. Unco says, did you manage to try out the Nemesis Lasso? I heard it's really good for rage. It's good for all powers, and I'll explain that over in a second here. Let me go ahead and switch to my... Here's what I'll do. At the end of the stream, I'll pop over to the House of Legends at the very end, and I'll kind of show you how it works. Alright? So, just remind me if I forget, but at the end of the stream, I'll pop over to the House of Legends and I'll kind of give a quick little tutorial about how the lasso works. Because I do have that, and it is a really strong iconic ability, like really strong, but it really depends on your group and the people you're running with. because without spoiling too much, it's very much like as if you combined the damaged version of Gemini and Time Bomb from Quantum together. It's very much like that. Alright, so we've got Hekios. I like the deep dark black of this material. Yeah, this is the dark sludge material. Very nice. I'd like to see what they bring around for Black Friday this year in terms of like a new material. That'd be cool. I like the zombie. I was just thinking back to the Halloween event. I like the nice zombies that they went ahead and added, like the zombie like models that they added, and then they ended up making a base item with them for the Halloween event. It's very nice. We got this. I like the gold trim on the style. Very cool. We got Zaestra. That's a little bit of a mouthful, but I think I got it right. So I guess they're atomic. Yeah, most likely atomic. I think that's a safe bet. And then we have Hayachi Masama. So this isn't bad either. I like the chest style. The chest style is really cool. It's great for like a Goku. I think this is like the next thing for like a Goku chest style. So that's really neat. And I think a lot of like the emblems from the Soulful Katana time capsule will work really well with that. And then we've got Tiny Lilith. So they got their Necron, you know, head, chest, and belt. And it was really good that they put out the Absolute Amazon style with this DLC, because the legs work really good for Necron as well. Nothing else really came close to it. So it was cool to see that they added something that was compatible for Necron. They have little things like that that work well. And sometimes people catch on to it really early, and then there's some people where it takes a little while, and then we find it out. But I gotta give credit to Snow Owl. He was the one that caught on to it as well as I did, but I think he might have been like a day early when he caught on to that. So Mr. Sharp Eyes over there, he definitely catches on to styles very quickly. Where, to be honest, I hadn't even looked at the new style for the Amazon stuff like until like a day after. So I collected all of it, but I didn't really give it a good look over. And then I gave it a good look over, and then you posted on it, and I was like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So they did a really good job with that. So we got Kree Warrior. It looks like a different style here. So this is, I'm guessing, another whole style from like the Kree in the Marvel universe. I like it. It's got like a very old, like Golden Age spaceman feel to it. Uncle says, what happened to the Batmite Mart? They scrapped it? Batmite Mart is a limited time thing where they release every so often to sell stuff that were only obtained from booster bundles a year ago. There's never been something that I heard of called Batmite Mart. Nothing that I've heard of. I thought it was pretty much part of the same thing. Imp Mart was basically the same thing. That's what I believed. I never heard of anything called Batmite Mart. Yeah. From what I know, it's Imp Mart. And they kind of, it's like a rotation of items from the past, you know, whether it be from in the game or booster bundles, or you know, it was like you know, little bonuses that you'd get for getting a certain amount, like the mutant skin. That was only accessible for buying like what, 20 bundles of booster bundles at a time, and you got that as a bonus. The one thing I didn't like about that was that you couldn't style unlock it on other characters. So it was literally the only character that, like, the one character that you gave it to and used it on, that was it. You didn't get it anymore. You couldn't unlock it across characters, and I think they kind of did that on purpose because, you know, they want, you know, repeat customers, you know, like myself, to come back and want it in the future in another form or another. So yeah, so I kind of hope that they do bring that back in some form or another, you know, to where I can get it on alts, because they kind of did the same thing with the Diamond Chroma, and the Diamond Chroma is literally one of the only things that I bought from the last Imp Mart. That was literally the only thing that I bought. Everything else was kind of to me. I didn't really care about it. Yeah, everything else was like so-so, but you know, I could see if people wanted to like get the white or black Nebula chromas. Those were okay, not really my thing. I kind of think that they're like the inferior version to the cosmic chromas. I just don't like the red in the cosmic area, not my forte. I think a white or black chroma, a white or black neon chroma would be a really good sell on the Imp Mart. That would be amazing. So I think that's something else they could bring. Maybe like the Phoenix material or the Void material. I think those would be good sells. So I think people are kind of cutting past everything else and looking for things like that. So I think if they were smart, that's probably where they should kind of go. They should start like leading with some better material in terms of, or better materials, no pun intended, for trying to entice customers to buy from this rotation of items. I think they're probably I think they're gonna kind of go the route of like putting one or two of those in every rotation. Like they don't want to oversaturate and have too many good items with one, you know, rotation of the Imp Mart. So they're probably going to do one or two at a time, mixed in with maybe some other things that aren't as desirable, if I put it that way. So I think that's kind of the way that they're going with it. But I think they need to. Do I think that they did anything like that this time around? No. I think there's not. I don't think there's a single winner when it comes to if there's anything super good, or at least in my opinion, in the Imp Mart this time around. I think they need to start breaking out the better stuff. And I think right now, what they put on the table is not good enough. I think they need to lead with something better. And I think they know that they have better. They know they have better. I think they need to lead with it. Uncle says, one of the biggest things I wish we were able to unlock as materials that'll help me out a little on my other tunes. I find, and I think, the most important materials that you should get always are the ones that have the most adaptability, the most most customization there. So for me, whether it's shaded comic or glossy, the glossy finish, those are going to be what you want. Like, you want the glossy finish. I think the glossy finish is actually more valuable in a stylistic sense than the shaded comic. So that's why when the glossy finish was out and then it's like the bundle went away, I went on the broker and I bought another 3 more of them, knowing that I wanted to share them across my multiple characters. So my main 4 characters that I run have the glossy finish material, and I'm glad I did it. Like, to me, that was well worth it. Um, I'd do it all over again. It was 100% worth it. Um, it's just easily one of the best materials in the game because glossy material doesn't have weird shading on it. It doesn't look super dark on one side if you change the angle. Um, it doesn't have any of the drawbacks of the shaded comic. Yes, shaded comic may look a little cooler in some instances, but it's also marred by the overshading, where the glossy finish matches well with skin tones. Like, look at this. Like, if I use the shaded comic on this, the skin would not look as closely as it does with this. Like, look at that. It is, like, perfect. You're not going to get that with the shaded comic. So, the only downside of the glossy finish is that it doesn't give a very metallic appearance to what it's covering. That's the only downside. If they made a metallic version of the glossy finish, or one to where it had like one part that was glowing, I think those would be cool additions to the game, and I think that's something they should be kind of like striving towards. That's kind of what I would recommend to them if they ask me, what are people looking for in styles? They want as much customization as possible with the single material, and I think textures are where it's at. People want different textures now, so you need to make the glossy finish, but make it with different textures. I think that's what people want, and I think you'd see a ridiculous amount of Iron Man running around if there was a glossy finish that had, I mean, you already see it with the glossy finish, but I mean, if it was metallic, oh my goodness, like people would love that, to have a, you know, and you could get a perfect gold and change the, you know, the metallic to a certain color gold that you'd want. It would work really well with a glossy finish, and give it just that little bit of a difference, that that contrast with the texture of the material. So I think that's like the next evolution in materials that they should be striving for, in my opinion. It's just a matter of them being willing to do it and to be able to use the tech to leverage that and make it happen. So I think that's all we're pretty much waiting for, is you know, just for the next big material to pop up. And I think right now they're kind of just, you know, I think they're toying around with those textures right now, and they're making a few materials that are kind of limited, but they have those new textures. You kind of saw that with the toon shaded chromas that we had come out. A lot of you will know that my major kind of gripe with that was that it wasn't tintable, and you know, and so it makes it easier to kind of stuff a bundle if you have a couple different versions of a chroma. It's not too great if you have one and you can tint it and then you have nothing else in there. So I kind of understand from their point of view why they did it, but from a player's point of view, it's like, yeah, we've kind of already been there. Let's see the new stuff. Let's see what you can do. We know you can do better. Let's see the new stuff. Let's see the, you know, let's see you really blow our minds with, you know, actual tintable materials that have different textures to them. I think at this point, a lot of people are so advanced with their styles, they're ready for that. They want to see something. They want to see something different. Let's you know, let's push the pencil a little more. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. So that's how I kind of see it so far. But hopefully they go ahead and they take that to you know, take that to a new height. And you know, we see what they can do. And this is very nice style. I don't know if this is like a Raven style or not. They have like the Raven emoji on the style. I don't know, but it's a very nice, like a very gothic vampire style. Unco says, what's your opinion on the new material in the Halloween event? It's literally just another toon shaded material. That's all it is. It's I think it's what, black, orange, and white. It's just another toon shaded material. So all they did was they changed the color on it. That's it. They just changed the multiple filters that they had to add to it to make the color pop a certain way. So to me, that's pretty much all they did. Is it exciting? Not really. I've already seen that with the other Toon Shaded. So it's not amazing. It's not game breaking. It's okay. It's okay. It's not great. I kind of wish that they, you know, kind of invented themselves a little differently, added something more. I think we're kind of ready for that. I think doing color locked materials in this game at this point, color locked chromas at this point, it's kind of redundant. I think we've already seen that. That's kind of like a 2020 thing. We're not in 2020 anymore. We're 5 years later. We can do better than that. That's how I kind of see it. And I look forward to them doing better than that. I know that they can do it. I know they got some talented people there. While some of the other gameplay may be kind of meh at times, I know that their art department and their 3D artists are like top notch. I mean, obviously with the things that we've been seeing in styles and different things that they've been adding. So I think they kind of just need to leverage that into better style items. Better style items and better materials, chromas, you know, whatnot. This is a nice green goblin. I like the shoulder pieces. Not bad. Very nice. And he's using the mutant skin on this. I could tell by little elbow nubs on the back and the veins. Very nice. Yeah, they need to bring the mutant skin back. I'd easily get that. 100% I'd get that. And then we've got Belico there. Belico 1. So I'm going to look at this and maybe one other style, and then we're going to quickly head over to the House of Legends, and I'm going to go ahead and explain the mechanics of the Nemesis Lasso real quick, and then I think we'll call that a stream. So I'll look at one more style. Who shall it be? Let's see. I want to look at one I haven't seen. So we've got Bush over here. Very odd name, but we'll go with it. It is a plant character. So I like it. It's a nice Poison Ivy character. And they've got the wild chroma on. Very nice. All right. I like the accessory. Looks very nice. You got like it kind of sees through and you can see the leaves. Very nice. All right. We're going to go ahead and head over to the House of Legends. I'll change my build so that so it actually has it there. So the Nemesis Lasso works very well, like the trying to have a brain fart here. The Eye of Gemini, with how it gathers. So if you've ever played Quantum, there's an ability called Time Bomb, which basically gathers all the damage that you do over time, and then it shoots it like it explodes and throws all that damage back at your enemy. This has that same mechanic, but it's lasso form. But the reason why I say it's also like Gemini is because it also takes other people's damage. So it takes everybody that's doing damage to a target, you're also taking their damage as well. So say I have these henchmen here, and then I've got the pet here, and I go ahead and throw this out, and then I just hold that. It's just absorbing all that damage. Absorbing all that damage, and if I don't cancel, there. Like it automatically cancels on its own, and it does a giant number and drops down. So it basically takes, and here's the cool thing. So if the target is at 50% or less, it automatically explodes and does, like, it automatically will take them for all of their damage, like everything. It'll max out their health after when it hits at 50% or lower. It'll max them out for all their health, it'll just take them for all their health. So he's not at the 50% yet. But it only does that mechanic on ads. It will not do that to boss characters. Let me just cancel. Alright, it wasn't low enough. Oh, there you go. See? It took it for all their health. So it does that for ads and it's AoE. So if I do this over here, you'll see all the ticks of everything around him. Like the little explosions that it does during the time. And you do. And the explosion that it does not... Look at that, see? Like all that damage that did. So if they're... Let's do it again. So if they're at 50% or less, and you cancel, it'll take them for all their health. Well, yeah. There we go. We get him under 50% again. But yeah, so that's how it works. It just maxes out their health when they're below 50%. So let's try to get him below that again. So it's easier to do when ads are like already at like below health, and then you go ahead and you use it, and it'll just take all their health away. So that's great. But for boss fights, what you want to do is you want to have the lasso and hold it out for full 10 seconds as much as you can, because all that time you're soaking up everybody's damage as well as your own. So most of the time I'm just holding the lasso and I'm walking around with it. You can jump with it. If you're super speed, don't double jump with it or you'll cancel it early, you know? So you can walk around with it. You can kind of like move with it. Like this is pretty much the fastest you can move with it for the most part. But so it takes everybody's damage as well as your own, and it caps it at 200% of your might. So I'll go ahead and I can max stack this. I'll just max stack. So most of the time what I go ahead and I do in raids is I'll go ahead and get myself to like the, you know, see, so I got the skull there, so max stacked, and I'll hold it. I'll just hold it. And I'll let everybody go ahead and do their damage. They do their damage. And then goes off. Go ahead, do this. Do this again. And this is what I do on a boss where you don't have the mechanic. Like bosses don't work with that 50% or less, and then where it takes them for all their health, it doesn't work that way. But I'll just do this. I just max stack it the whole time. Go right back into Dreadful Blast, Spore Pod, a weapon which turns into Might Buff, and then right into Lasso again. And I just hold it. And all this time everybody's dropping their orbitals, they're dropping all their big damage, and I'm soaking up all that in. I take all their orbital damage, I take all that. I take it all. And then when it finally explodes, after, like, it'll self-cancel itself after 10 seconds. That's as long as it'll ever go. So that's how you, so it's basically Time Bomb and Gemini put together. Yeah. Let me just catch up on the questions here. Oh, it's color lock. Oh, wait. What server is this? This is US server. Uncle says, no wonder a low-level person passed me up with that ability. Yes. It is literally the lazy DPS. You're literally just a damage siphon. That's all you are. You're just a damage siphon. It's a lazy DPS. So, like, you know, like I do that, drop that, drop that, drop that, quickly lasso. All that damage is soaking into the lasso. Like, even Zod. Even... Like, I didn't even cancel it yet, and then boom. But if that was a boss, all that damage would have been thrown back at them. Everybody's orbital. It says it considers everybody's... Let me see here. Like, I'll read it out. So, unleash an Nemesis Lasso to bind the target, stunning them and forcing them to face the weight of their sins. So, when Lasso is released, which when you do the combo to cancel it early, or when it does it automatically after 10 seconds, their accumulated sins erupt outward, dealing damage to an area to nearby enemies based on the total damage inflicted during the bind from all sources. So during the time that you did all the damage, during that time, from all sources, capped at a percentage of your might, is 200% might. The area damage maximum. So the higher your might, your cap will be a little higher. The weaker enemies, which are the ads, we consider them weaker enemies, are then instantly judged, meaning that it automatically just explodes and cancels itself if they're below 50%, and defeated if their health drops below a threshold. So it automatically takes them for the rest of their health. It doesn't matter how much. It doesn't matter what the number is on how much it will take to defeat them. As long as they are at 50% or lower, it'll take them for all of their health. It'll just do an immediate health wipe on them, and that explosion will work on all the ads around them. So that's why it's so OP. This is literally just a lazy DPS. You just stand there, you let everybody else do the damage, you bind, and just hold it out and walk around, and everybody does the damage for you. So you take everybody's combined strength and you throw it back at the enemy, and you get credit for that damage. I can see this being OP for survival mode. Imagine that you and your group are dropping orbitals, or you drop your allies and you throw your lasso out. You're going to be doing crazy damage, and the range on this is insane. Let's say I lock onto this. All you need is a target. Let me go all the way back over here. Let me see how far it goes. Does it go this far? Look at that. Look at that. Look how broken that is. Look how broken that is. Imagine being in survival mode and doing this. Watch it go off. There you go. It went off. There you go. You don't have to, like, let me see. Oh, wait. No. I meant to, here, let me just cancel it again. So you do tap to cancel it. You could do a tap, or you could do like a weapon thing. Yeah, to cancel. But let's say, let me go all the way across here. Let me see. Go all the way across here and see if it does it. Oh no, I lost the target on it. Okay, all right. Let me see if I can try to get target on it again. But it's so broken how far you can go out with it. But I can imagine this being really good for survival mode, where your damage is like less over time, and and when you get to higher enemies. Look at that! Look at that! Look how broken that is! Look at that! I'm all the way across the way, and I'm still doing damage. Yeah, that's definitely OP. So that would be great for survival mode. You have people drop their orbitals, and then you sling that, the sucker around your target, and you're getting all that damage, and you'll throw it back at them. So yeah, so it's a very OP ability. It is very OP. There is a reason why it's in the time capsule, and it's a reason why it's 400 to 600 mil to get the ability on its own, or just with the collections. So I'm thinking about grabbing this for other characters maybe down the road when the prices drop a little, but I think it's going to be in high demand for a very long time. So there you go. That's the lasso ability. I know we kind of segued into this, but I thought it was important enough, and I thought it was a good thing that somebody brought up. So there you go. That's how the ability works. So when it comes to ads, I think you want to cancel a little early. You want to hit an ad that's got low health, hit them real quick, cancel, like do a tap melee, because it's the tap melee that cancels it. Or you could do like a weapon, like a ranged weapon attack or weapon tap, whatever, and that should work. But bosses, you want to hold it out as long as you can. Ads, you want to grapple onto them onto a low, or let it get to a certain like 50% or lower, and then you cancel it. So you got to be quick with that when it comes to ads. But when it comes to bosses, that's when you want to hold it out. So you got to know how to use it, and you'll do really good damage. But that's basically how you run it. And you could be far away. You don't even have to be in their vicinity. As long as you're locked onto them, all it requires is a target. That's it, and then you're good to go. So there you go, guys. That was a more informative Sunday live stream than I thought it was going to be. But I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it and you learned a little something from the new ability. I appreciate you all for watching and hanging out with me on this fine Sunday evening at this point. And I will see you all in the next video. Laters.